It's the time of year where many parents are thinking about how they can invest in their child's future, and Michigan families have access to 529 savings plans. And joining us now is John Scott. John, can you share the difference between the two Michigan 529 savings plans?
So the first one is MET, so that's Michigan Education Trust. So that is a prepaid tuition program. So basically people are buying tuition at today's prices to kind of hedge against tuition inflation. Tuition goes up about 5 to 7% each year, so you can save on some money by buying MET and using that for tuition later on. Now, MESP is a savings-based program, so basically you're saving money, you're investing it over time, and it's growing via a dollar amount via those investments, and you can pull that money out to use for more than just tuition. So we're also talking about room and board, books and supplies, laptops, things like that for cost of attendance.
So what happens when the beneficiary does not go to college in Michigan, or they choose not to go at all?
So with MESP, which is the program I represent, if they don't go to school in the state of Michigan, that's perfectly fine. These dollars can be used at any institution that accepts federal financial aid. So that's your schools here, like Ferris State or University of Michigan or Davenport. It can be out of state, University of Iowa or University of Florida, Harvard, Stanford, but also even abroad. So we're also talking about universities in the UK, in France, in Germany. I've seen some in Australia, Canada. So if you even go abroad, they can use those at those institutions as well.
Yeah, and what are the tax advantages for the families that use this plan?
So we actually come with a triple tax benefit. So the first is going to be the tax benefit you get while the money's in the account. So as you're contributing, the money while it's in the account is not taxed at all with MESP. So that allows it to grow and to accumulate. So with the savings account, if you have interest, you're gonna have to usually pay taxes on that. That's something you don't have to do with MESP. The next part is you're incentivized by the state, if you're a Michigan State resident, to give money to the account. So you can actually get a tax deduction of $10,000 if you're married filing jointly, or $5,000 if you're filing single off your Michigan State income when you report it for tax purposes.
Okay, you mentioned earlier about, starting early with saving. How early can they really do it?
So you can start as early as you like. So if you're a person, you can, a United States citizen, I should say, you can open an account for yourself, and then when your beneficiary comes, you can go ahead and transfer that money into their name, basically. Sure. So if you have a newborn, you could transfer it into their name later. I realized I didn't answer one question for you, which is about if they end up not using the money. You can always transfer that money to another beneficiary. So if you have multiple kids, you could transfer it to another kid. You can roll it over to a retirement account for that beneficiary if they end up not using it.
Awesome. Well, that's some great advice, especially, like you mentioned, how college is getting more expensive by the year. So if people want to learn more information about these savings plans, tell them how they can do so.
Yeah, so you can do so on misaves.com. If you want to open an account, there's a big green open an account button there. All you need is your name, date of birth, social security number, email address, and a mailing address. And then for the beneficiary, all you need is their date of birth, name, and social security number.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.